Well, the other thing that people are going today's cover of the Daily News that it's all called Code Orange or whatever. It's because it has a nice little picture of the hydrogen bomb going off.
Hmm.
Apparently, Trump worried everyone last night because he's going to be a risk for national security.
Oh
Ooh.
knows.
Because
Oh knows.
apparently everyone's worried if he gets into control if he becomes president he's gonna be go nuke happy and he's gonna basically order our troops to commit war crimes
When did
and
he say any of this?
he's because he's saying he's gonna order our troops to torture terrorists and stuff.
Okay.
Basically bring back waterboarding and do it worse.
So Donald Trump is going to excuse torture
Right.
for the U.S. military.
Right. First of all, the military does not do torture.
We don't.
No, it's our super secret clandestine services, the super secret alphabet ones that are higher up than the CIA that we don't know about that do torture.
Yeah, it's a completely different alphabet that does torture. It's
Right.
not.
It's the ones that we don't know about. It's the ones that we don't know about that we can go about on our. It's the ones that we. It's like the real Men in Black that we can go
It's
on.
like, it's the ones that are. It's the alphabet that's written in Sanskrit that we can't.
Right.
We
It's-
can't. We can't figure. We can't tell them not to torture.
It's the ones that exist that are so secret that we don't know about, so we can go on with our daily lives. So
Right.
we don't. Because if we knew about it, we we would just be like,
Jack Nicholson runs this fucking thing. That's all you need to know.
right. Like it's just an agency full of real life Tommy Lee Jones.
Right. They're all looking for somebody. They don't care who.
Right. It's just a real life. It's just they're all full of Tommy Lee Jones and James Spaders from the Blacklist.
Hmm.
Come to think of it, that might actually not be such a bad idea. We would get things done with a whole agency full of Tommy Lee Jones and James Spaders from the Blacklist. Ruthless people with no emotions. I could actually dive into that.
Yeah. I don't want I don't want a government, but I definitely don't want a government full of people that aren't responsible like that. But then we're two different people.
I just look at it from a moral and ethical standpoint of whether or not I just look at it from the ethical standpoint of what does the greatest good, and I see terrorists as well. They don't have they don't have a country. They don't fight for a flag. They have a flag, but it's a piece of shit flag anyway. They don't
It's a green flag. What kind of faggots wear green?
or the black flag.
I didn't mean any by that by anybody to Iran, by the way,
Oh,
because I
black.
like the green movement in Iran. Freedom for Iran. Fuck
Yeah.
Obama. He didn't help any of you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was the only. We should have supported that green movement in Iran. Look what happened. All those, Iran could have been a free country by now, but
Right.
Obama decided to turn his back as he always does, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, as I'm trying to say, they're saying, "Oh well, Donald Trump is basically saying he's going to make our troops commit war crimes." And basically, it's a potential. There's a potential for our military to basically have a coup happen because we would have the military leaders turn defy him and everything because we would be in violation of the Geneva Convention. First of all, and I've said this openly, I've said Geneva should be updated because we fight enemies who do not have not signed on to Geneva.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are many more countries than there was during when the Geneva Convention was written. There have exploded a number of countries, and I don't think all of them are part of the Geneva Convention.
The Geneva Convention is a great thing, obviously, when you fight civilized countries.
Right.
But we're not fighting Russia. We're not fighting Germany in the 1940s. We're not fighting the Russians. We're not fighting the Chinese.
Are those are the same thing? You just said the Russians twice.
Well, they're a big. It's a big country.
It's a big like Australia.
Russia.
It's
takes
a big country.
Russia takes up 11 time zones. It's a big country.
I can't deny that.
It's a big country. Russia, it's huge.
It's a big country. Hey, that's Australia, but still, the points there. We love you,
China. All
we
these.
love you, Australia.
Well, we're going to eventually kick Australia's ass.
I love Australia.
So, That was
We're
that
gonna-
old one.
We're
That
gonna talk about immigration later, and oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about there.
You remember that line? I don't know if you remember that line from Grand Theft Auto, from the old ammunition commercial in the background. If you ever listened to it carefully, the commercial for ammunition, and we're the store that helped kick Australia's ass in the war.
Absolutely.
But no, but the Geneva Convention, in theory, was when you're fighting a civilized nation, you agree to take care of each other's prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're taking on uncivilized uncivilized nations or uncivilized groups such as ISIS, Al Qaeda, or even or such say like North Korea, which is definitely uncivilized, they're sure as hell not signing on to the Geneva Convention. They're not going to be taking care of prisoners. They're not going to be guaranteeing, health and well-being and safety, and we're not going to be guaranteeing here's the Red Cross to ensure that you get your
your packet.
Your packet, here's your health and safety packet. Here's your food, here's your blanket, all that stuff.
Some aspirin. And by the way, you get at least 2 Oreo cookies in your packet.
Well,
Did you know that?
You ain't getting that stuff you're sure as hell not going to be getting that stuff from ISIS if you're captured.
Right.
So, Trump is basically saying, why should we have to adhere to that stuff if they're not going to adhere to that stuff?
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. And I'm not a warmonger. I'm actually quite I'm actually quite anti-war. But if you're working with somebody that doesn't play by war rules, then fuck it.
Basically, yes. And I know for Ed to say that, it was very hard for him.
Dude, I'm as anti-aggression as you can get, even though I made a lot of money with the aggression. But I'm as anti-aggression as you can get, non-aggression as you can get. But if you're fighting somebody who really has no problem coming over and cutting your head off for sorry. I'm not going to take care of your prisoners. I'm not going to make sure that they're held together nice and tight and singing Kumbaya. You make it as uncomfortable as you possibly can.
Let's put it this way. If you've ever watched some of those ISIS propaganda videos, and I have watched some of them, and they've angried up the blood, and they have.
Right.
For me, morally and ethically, I would not have a problem if I had if the information was, if I had to get the information out of someone, and it was waterboarding or whatever, would I like doing it? No. But would I have a problem doing it? No. That's what it'll come down to. Is it enjoying doing it? It's not about enjoying doing it. It's about saving lives. And
right.
if it means, is it enjoying? The whole thing is, we're supposed to be better than them. Well, no, we're supposed to. If you're saving somebody's life or preventing something from happening, you got to do what you got to do. It's the utilitarian position of what's for the greater good.
And
it's a horrible position, but it's
and the worst part is okay, here's the thing, and here's the difference is I don't know how to speak for I can't speak for Donald Trump on this, although I've heard a couple of things, and he doesn't seem. Donald Trump was one of the few people that was against going to Iraq,
right,
along with the rest of the people, right?
But back then you had to be like, well, if you're against the war, obviously you're anti-American.
Exactly. So Donald Trump knows what it's like to be called anti-American. Especially when 99% of Congress decided to sign off on saying, "Yeah, let's just go take our troops over there," including Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, by the way. So, in saying that, it's not. And there goes my chicken. It's not. It's not that you want to go to war, but I think Donald Trump is willing to say these things because he wants those people to know, don't come here.
Right.
We don't need you. We don't want you. You tried to come here, and we'll fuck you up.
Exactly.
And you want to know something? That's exactly what you... I don't know if that's what you want in a president, because I'm not, I'm anarchist, and I hate presidents and shit like that, but... It's true. I haven't found one good president I've ever known. But here's the thing. In my family, I have a president, and he had his country join the Geneva Convention. Like, he signed the treaty and everything, right?
Right.
What he did was anybody who was against the government, anybody who was trying to cause, like the guerrillas, trying to cause trouble within the society and everything else,
Yeah.
he created a prison where it was a giant pit,
Oh my God.
and he just threw them into the giant pit, and that's where he sent all of his political prisoners. That's not probably the best way to go, I'll admit, but it got the point across that there was never a terrorist attack in the major points. They all had to do all their terrorist attacks had to be in other countries around the area, but they never came into our country. They never did. They couldn't do it until the United States kicked us out, and then they were just showing up all the time.
Oh God. It's
I'll
always.
I'll get into that when we talk about immigration and everything, but because that has a lot to do with it. But there are ways to deal with unwanted individuals, and people who want to cut your head off is an unwanted individual.
Oh yeah.
So Donald Trump saying that he's going to build a wall and he's going to fucking send troops and he's saying a lot of things like that to make sure that everybody knows that he's the guy that's not going to tolerate any of this. Because for the past 12 years, 14, no, I'm sorry, we've had 2 presidents that are in war. So the past 16 years, right? Almost 20, because Bill Clinton had some troops in Bosnia and Yugoslavia and all that. Right? So almost 20 years of government going out of its way to destroy the world and destroy the cultures of that world and destroy any common camaraderie between our nation and anyone else. 20 years of that. I want Donald Trump, the guy who's been against all of this war that's been going on for the past 20 years, to go, you know what? I think it's time to negotiate a better deal. And he's not going to tolerate ISIS. I think that better deal is probably going to come between a relationship with Russia. And shouldn't we have a relationship with Russia? Like he said that in the debate. We should have a relationship with Russia. We should have a relationship with these people who actively are as independent as we are.
And you know,
because the EU and Russia hate each other, and that's probably going to end up. We're probably going to end up having to go to war with the EU pretty soon, before we go to war with ISIS. That's probably the scariest part. That's for our conspiracy segment. We'll get into that. But that's something I'm more concerned about. Is if we're going back to Europe to fight again, if World War III is happening in Europe again, we're fucked. We're fucked unless we have Russia helping us.
did you ever think we would come to the day where I just, it's just that I always like, I can't believe that the day has come where I'm supporting Russia over everyone else.
Right.
Because
this is how useless our mainstream press is. This is how useless we are as our mainstream media. Donald Trump says that he's going to send troops and do alleged war crimes and all this stuff, right? Vladimir Putin has said, in relation to terrorists coming to Russia and, you know, the jihadists saying that they're going to come after Russia because Syria and Russia are linked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Assad and Putin are friends. So Putin looks at they ask him about this, like, you know, what do you think about jihadists? What do you think about people who want to blow Russia up because of Islam? And Vladimir Putin looks at the camera and says, I don't know. God doesn't tell me whether or not they're going to go to heaven. All God tells me is I need to send them to heaven. That means Vladimir Putin is not fucking around when it comes to terrorists.
And that's the position. That's the whole position we should be taking with these people.
Exactly. It's not our job to get them to heaven. It's not our job to get them to heaven. It's our job to help facilitate the process.
We shouldn't try to understand them. We shouldn't try to,
No.
negotiate with them. We should just like, you want to go there? We'll send you there.
Yeah. If you want to try something, we'll send you to heaven. Putin's like, I have no problem doing that. Like, that was the thing. Trump's foreign policy strategy. Let Putin handle it. Putin's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then they're trying to yell at him. Like Chris Wallace. Don't you like, what are you trying to say? You like Putin? Hey, Putin's a great guy.
And he is. He's the only one that's reasonable when it comes to Syria.
Right. Marco Rubio, he likes Putin. Right, Marco. Meanwhile, you're trying to promote something like you're trying to promote the exact same government that the EU is, which is just trying to make all the states desperately all into one big giant United States of America. Like they want to make all the countries in Europe a United States of Europe. Why are you collectivists so desperate to make everyone submit to your way of thinking?
And what's the option? What's the alternative in Syria? If they get rid of Assad, what happens? Syria turns into Libya. You think Jordan and Israel are going to like something like that on their borders?
Right. Exactly.
And as it is,
Gaddafi said so. Gaddafi said, I'm the last line of defense. I'm the last line of defense for Europe because if I go, you're just going to get flooded. And that's exactly what happened. That's what's happening right now. I never thought I'd be defending Muammar Gaddafi, but Gaddafi himself said, "You know what? I'm the last line of defense. If I go down, you're going to be flooded with a whole bunch of people that you don't want." So, yeah, mainstream media, you blew it. You blew it so fucking hard. On the plus side for the mainstream media, Megan Kelly looked incredibly beautiful last night.
I was going to say,
what
did Megan Fox have to do with anything?
Sorry. The new Transformers movie's coming out.
No, she's in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, she's horrible as April O'Neil.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the first one, so I don't know how she looks.
The only reason why I watched the one that just came, the latest one. I can't say the first one because the first one is the first one.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. For us who are in our 30s, and the first one is the one that came out in 1990.
Yeah, which was hands down so much better.
Is the only real Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Right. Of course, the April that was in that too wasn't really April O'Neil either. It's really hard to do April O'Neil correctly because April O'Neil has like such a beautiful face and this great hair and these massive tits, and it just fits. And it has to fit inside this tight yellow jumpsuit. It's really, I don't know who could have possibly have gotten to be April O'Neil. Mercedes Carrera. Mercedes, you could have been April O'Neil. I nominate Mercedes Carrera as April O'Neil for the next movie. Fuck Megan Fox.
I don't know. I thought Paige Turco, the one who did April O'Neil in 2 and 3.
She looked like April, but the tits weren't there. The body wasn't there. April O'Neil specifically was made to look like a hot chick. And Megan Kelly last night looked like a hot chick, and she kind of pulled off the April O'Neil look, but I don't know. I don't like this. I don't know, this short hair on.
Yeah, I don't like the
short hair on women. Short hair on women, but then it looks like a comb over. Not really feeling it.
Yeah, I don't like the short hair look Megan Kelly's got. I know she's supposed to be a respected journalist, and here we are dogging on her looks.
Donald Trump and her had a little thing together. I think she got a little wet under the collar. I think she got a little wet under the panties when he started talking about his penis size.
Oh God. Oh man.
She's a woman. It's perfectly natural. Women do that to me all the time. I can tell when their fucking pussies just boom, 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 boom when I'm talking to them. Ladies, whenever you want to talk.
If this was a video show, you would just see me shaking my head right now.
Yeah, shake your head. I don't care. I'll hit on anything. Fuck.
I know you're like Freddie Mercury. If it's breathing and it has a pulse, you'll hit on it.
Right. I'm just looking for somebody to love.
Someone to love. I
Um,
shouldn't have did that. My throat was just not ready for it.
no, you should never. No, I don't even try to pretend. The two people I don't try to pretend to sound like are Freddie Mercury and Steve Perry.
I could do Freddie Mercury, but I just wasn't prepared to do it.
Right. Uh-huh. Anyway, now we're on air live and on your face, and you're not prepared. You choker. You're like Mitt Romney.
I'm like, no. But at least
He's nothing but a choke artist. He's a choker. Did you see him choke?
At least I'm not like Marco Rubio, who can't say the word choker. He's a chocker. Chocker.
He's a chocker.
He's a chocker. How do you spell that? Chocker, choker, chocker, cocker, chocker. What was it? Cocker, chocker.
Leave me little Marquito alone.
He couldn't.
He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. Me Marquito. Marquito.
Yo.
Coming, mother. It's like one of the. It's that joke from like 1940s cartoons. Little Marquito, coming, mother. Ay, mamá, basta ya. Sí, mamá.
Oh God.
That was fantastic.
That was funny.
Anyway, so Trump won last night. Trump is just spanking everyone. Thank God he doesn't spank his kids, because I don't know how Trump can spank all of these candidates like he does, and still have the willpower and the intelligence and the wisdom to not do it to his own children. Is unbelievable. Donald Trump.
Well, you see, I got the greatest kids in the world. They're smart. They're brilliant. They're beautiful.
They never gave me a reason to pop him in the face.
They never gave me a reason to have to beat them or anything. They were smart from the beginning because they're my kids. You know, they're top of the line. They're top notch.
Right. I put stock in my children. And you want to know something? How many parents can say they do that? To be quite honest.
All top notch. All winners.
All top notch. All winners. They're the best.
I don't know if you could say the same thing about your kids, Rubio.
Cruz, Rubio, I don't know what you can say about your kids other than they smell like beans and rice. But my kids, they're fantastic. They're great. They're smart. They're beautiful. I'd bang my daughter if I could. I said so on live television. You see how beautiful my daughter is? You see how beautiful my wife? Have you seen my wife? Yeah, she loves these big hands. So Cruz, Rubio, I don't know what you're on, but guess what? You should be running with the Don.
I'll tell you what. After I win, I'll give you some sort of cabinet position. I'm
Can you
not a bad
imagine-
guy.
Can you right? Exactly. I'll keep you around.
I'll tell you what, Cruz, you're not so bad. Maybe Attorney General.
All we can hope for.
Marquito, I don't know. What's a little guy like you good at?
Oh.
That would be the best. What's a little
Marco,
guy
I like
you?
you. I like you. You're a good little guy and you know how to work. What I want you to do is I want you to get on your hands and knees and scrape my tiles. Yes, sir. Anything to bend down in front of you, Mr. Trump? Marquito! Mama, I'm working on. He gonna pay me $750. That's right. I talked him down from 15 to 750. That's how good of a negotiator I am. I'm flexible, people.
Oh God. See, this is why the Republican Party does not want him to be the
Right.
This is because they can't control him.
Nope.
They're like, well, you see, the Republican Party, whoever, I don't know who the Vince McMahon of the Republican Party is. It sure hell isn't that little twerp Reince Priebus. I mean, first of all, what the hell kind of name is Reince anyway?
Reince.
But yeah, the Republican...
Vince Pence.
Yeah. The Republicans' version of Vince McMahon, he's like, oh, Donald, you just don't know how to play ball. I don't have to play ball. I am the ball.
I don't play ball. I make jobs work. People play ball for me because I pay them.
Well, Donald, if you just would just do things my way.
You want to know something? He beat Vince McMahon. I think he can beat the GOP just as well.
Well, I'm telling you, they're gonna definitely try. They're definitely gonna try to screw him. They're gonna definitely try to screw him at the convention.
Of course.
They're gonna definitely go for the broker convention.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. I think that's the reason why he's skipping CPAC. Because he's like, you know what? If they're gonna not invite me, if they're gonna screw me in the convention and everything else, I'll just tell my story to the people.
Yeah.
And he's in Kansas. He's in Kansas and Florida right now. He's going to Wichita pretty soon. He's going to be in Florida after that. He is at the people. He doesn't give a shit about the establishment. That's how you know Donald Trump is as legitimate as a candidate as you can get. Because he doesn't care about what he doesn't care what the establishment says. He's the candidate.